Hello everyone! Our group presentation is on Ontario Full Day Kindergarten, FDK, and how it nurtures capable and competent learners. Our group members are Jourlie Benitez, Caitlin Godden, Sarah Hamdi, Marilyn Jared, and Zainaton Naim. FDK is built on the belief that every child is capable, unique, competent, and full of potential. FDK believes every 4 and 5-year-old is a unique individual, full of potential and eager to learn and take responsibility of their own learning. Children are not empty vessels to be filled, but active participants in their families and communities. Now, we're going to discuss the 4 frames of learning. The curriculum is organized into 4 frames: belonging and contributing, self-regulation and well-being, demonstrating literacy and mathematics behaviors, and problem-solving and innovating. These frames replace traditional subjects and focus on the child's holistic development. A major foundation of FDK is learning through play and inquiry. In FDK, play-based and inquiry-based learning means children explore, investigate, and ask questions through hands-on experiences. Educators follow children's interests and extend learning through meaningful play. FDK supports holistic development, including children's cognitive, emotional, social, and physical growth. Overall, the goal is to support the complete child by offering learning experiences that develop skills, confidence, and readiness for future learning. Next, we'll look at some theoretical influences connected to the FDK approach. Piaget's constructivism connects to FDK because children build knowledge through active exploration. They learn by doing, problem solving, and making sense of their experiences. Vygotsky's theory connects to how children learn through interaction with educators and peers. Learning is supported through language, collaboration, and guided support. Dewey's ideas connect to inquiry-based learning through real experiences. Children learn deeply when learning is meaningful, connected to their lives, and extended through exploration and reflection. Shanker connects to self-regulation, reminding us that children learn best when they feel calm, supported, and ready to focus and participate. Now, we'll move into planning and implementation. Planning in FDK begins with observation-based planning. Educators observe children in natural settings to identify strengths and interests. These observations help create flexible plans that stay responsive, engaging, and relevant as children grow and change. FDK also includes core implementation strategies that support learning through play, inquiry, and responsive teaching. Hands-on learning encourages active exploration through play, and differentiated instruction helps meet the individual developmental needs of every child. FDK also emphasizes family collaboration to bridge home and school and integrates multimedia tools to build early digital literacy. Time is organized intentionally in FDK, often described as the flow of the day. The day begins with circle time, where children greet peers and review the daily plan. This is followed by about 20 to 30 minutes of tabletop learning activities such as writing, counting, and art. Uninterrupted play periods allow children to explore learning centers independently, while outdoor recess, gym activities, and quiet time support physical and emotional well-being throughout the day. Next is organizing space and the learning environment. In FDK, space is often described as the third teacher. The classroom is organized into quiet, active, and messy zones to support different types of learning and play. Learning centers such as dramatic play, block construction, science, and math encourage exploration. Materials on low-labeled shelves promote independence, and outdoor spaces with natural materials extend inquiry. FDK relies on both the educator team and materials to support learning. The educator team, consisting of the teacher and RECE, collaborates to observe children and plan learning experiences based on their interests. Educators support learning by asking open-ended questions that extend thinking. Open-ended loose parts and natural materials encourage inquiry, while dramatic play, toys, and props are regularly rotated to promote social and emotional development. Next is the role and methods of assessment. Assessment in FDK focuses on making learning visible. Assessment follows a reflective cycle of observe, evaluate, plan, and implement. Educators document authentic moments during play and inquiry to understand children's learning and determine appropriate next steps. This supports metacognition and helps families recognize the academic value of play. Assessment also moves beyond tests by focusing on the learning process. FDK uses pedagogical documentation tools to support assessment and planning. Pedagogical documentation in action can include anecdotal and running records, visual media such as photos and videos to document the inquiry process, transcriptions that record children's unique theories about the world, and classroom displays that make the learning journey public for children and families. This also supports moving beyond tests by focusing on the learning process. Now, we'll connect the model to how does learning happen, starting with belonging and well-being. Belonging is supported through responsive relationships, inclusion of home languages, and classroom responsibilities like playing care. Well-being is promoted through the self-regulation frame, predictable schedules, and quiet spaces that reduce stress and support mental health. Next are engagement and expression. Engagement is supported when children learn through hands-on inquiry using their body, mind, and senses. Children explore interests through centers such as blocks, art, and science, and educators extend this by responding to interests and adding materials to deepen learning. Expression is supported when children feel confident to communicate ideas through words, play, drawings, and other forms of representation. Now, we'll share recommendations. To strengthen belonging during transitions, educators should focus on times when a child joins the group or when there are changes in the educator team. This can be supported through predictable routines, consistent contact with families, and documentation that helps children recognize trusted adults to feel secure. To better support well-being, pedagogical documentation should evolve into a thinking tool, not just a record of events. Educators can share reflections with children and families to co-create new possibilities and support learning over time. To strengthen well-being, it is recommended to create specialized spaces with variable lighting options and sound-reducing materials. These environmental adjustments help children develop and practice self-regulation. To support engagement, educators can closely observe children's emerging interests and extend learning right away. For example, if children are interested in animals or seasons, educators can introduce related books, discussions, and creative activities to keep children motivated and curious. To support expression, the curriculum should continue to emphasize a supportive environment where children feel safe to share ideas through spoken words, gestures, drawings, and play. Valuing diverse ways of communicating supports children's self-esteem and respect for differences. In summary, Ontario Full-Day Kindergarten is a transformative, child-centered approach grounded in the belief that every child is capable, competent, and full of potential. By integrating play-based and inquiry-based learning, the program supports higher order thinking and holistic development across cognitive, emotional, social, and physical well-being. The curriculum is organized into 4 frames that replace traditional subjects to support the complete child. Overall, the model aligns with the How Does Learning Happen foundations of belonging, well-being, engagement, and expression to create a nurturing environment where children are active co-constructors of their educational journey. Here are the references used for this presentation. And here are the remaining references. Big thanks for listening.